Well, hello, EKN Nation. Welcome to a new edition of our EKN OutLap. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole as we get ready to dive into the upcoming event for the United States Pro Kart Series. This is episode 60 of our OutLap preview podcast, August 22nd, 2023. Today's show brought to you by Factory Karts. Made in the USA. It's not just a statement, it's the mission at Factory Karts of America. Led by four-time Supernational champion Billy Musgrave, Factory Karts manufactured serve frames completely in-house at the Riverside, California facility. Built and designed from the ground up specifically for the American karting market, Factory Karts brings new innovations and solutions that are long overdue. No other karting manufacturer stands behind its product as Factory Kart does, providing a 2-year warranty on all their frames. Learn more by visiting factorykarts.com or email Billy anytime at info@factorykarts.com. All right, David Cole, let's jump into this. You've been home for a little bit. Time to get back at it once again. You've got a string of races coming here over the next, 6 weeks, beginning with this United States Pro Kart Series. It's the Ohio Grand Prix. The event, of course, this coming weekend on the 24th to the 27th of August. Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati down in Batavia, Ohio. It's a track. It's kind of on my bucket list to get to. You're going to get a chance to head down there. I love it.
Yeah, it's been on the list for quite some time.
Yeah.
Dating back numerous years that we've been trying to get down to. Again, it's just with the schedule, and it's a 6-hour drive for me alone. Probably about the same, if not a little bit longer for you.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's again, unless there's an event there, we typically aren't at a racetrack. We got other activities going on. So excited. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this since it was scheduled. Since we've been trying to get to, as much as I hate Ohio, I like the Bailiff family. And,
are you gonna wear your University of Michigan stuff down there?
That's a good. I didn't think about that, but I'm thinking, on Thursday at least, I should at least wear a Michigan shirt when I arrive.
I just got this in my head.
Announce my presence with authority.
I just got this in my head. We need to get like a secondary jersey for e-karting news that you can just wear in Ohio. We need to have like a blue and yellow e-karting news.
That's not a bad. Get the right
like
color.
That.
Yeah. Right. We could do the maize and blue. We can definitely do the maize and blue.
Poor Sean Bailiff will be just ready to punch you in the mouth the minute you walk in the door. Again, so let's just talk. Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, highly touted folks. The Bailiff family, Sean and Michelle. And their investors have put so much money into this track. It started as a country club, exactly that, members only country club. It has evolved now into the Kartplex rental karts. It's getting major events coming down there as well. Obviously we know that Stars has already been there. Now the USPKS, CKNA. This is quickly becoming one of the premier facilities in the U.S.
Yeah, Stars, Route 66 Sprint Series, WKA, Cup Karts North America were there. Started out their North Division there this year. Again, 16 turns. It was, repaved and extended last year. I believe June was about the completion date of it. And so now it's at just under a mile, 0.95 of a mile layout in the counterclockwise direction. They had a club race there this past weekend. A lot of the USPKS regulars were there, getting in some testing, getting to understand the facility. A lot of back and forth. It's in a tight space. That's one thing that you'll notice about the racetrack. It's not like Newcastle where the cell tower corner seems like it's a mile away.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of it's a very condensed layout, including the extension that they added to. So you'll be able to see everything. I just wonder about the elevation. Again, that's hard to see in photos and videos. So until we get there to kind of really give you an idea of what it looks like and how it feels. But I think it's going to be a lot of tight racing. Again, you get 16 different turns. So a lot of opportunities for drivers to make mistakes, again. So this is going to be an interesting weekend because, again, a lot of people will be making their first visit to this racetrack.
That's it. Yeah. The first visit for the United States Pro Kart Series as well. We talked about the fact the track opened up in 2007. The Bailiff family and their partners took it over in 2020. This is round number 4, the penultimate round of a 5-round championship series. Best 4 or 5 count for the United States Pro Kart Series. So the Ohio Grand Prix is going to be kind of that, that race that really changes things in the championship. Drivers will have to step up. Weather's looking like it's going to be warm but cooler. So it's going to be 98 degrees for unofficial practice on Thursday. They're calling for a high of 92 on Friday, 83 on Saturday, 79, David, on Sunday. It's going to get progressively cooler before you guys head into the main events on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a positive. I'd much rather it get cooler than warmer. So get the warm days out of the way, get that done and in the books. And thankfully it's only practice on Thursday where it will be 98 degrees. So people will be able to, seek shelter, stay cool, stay hydrated. And then Friday with practice and qualifying, it shouldn't be too bad as well. Only 92, and then getting into the mid 80s. So that'll certainly help, with things. Again, you just never know. August, you could have, this weekend here, Saturday was beautiful weather. And then Sunday just, it just felt gross.
So David mentioned Thursday optional practice, Friday practice with 4 rounds. Qualifying will wrap up the day on Friday. Saturday will be a warm-up and then 3 rounds of heats, heat 1, 2, and 3. As we know, only a single final for the USPKS here in 2023. Sunday will start with a warm-up, a couple of LCQs, last chance qualifiers. Then we'll move into finals with 20 laps for the primary categories, 18 laps for the cadets. David, what's the lineup in terms of the LCQs for the KA100 Junior and Senior? How do they set that up?
Yeah, right now, KA100 Junior, KA100 Senior are going to be the categories that will run LCQ, a last chance qualifier if needed. The top 42 in points from the heat races will move directly into the final. The rest of the fields will go into the last chance qualifier with the top 6 transferring into the main event. Right now, though, looking like we might just have it in KA100 Junior. As we'll get into by the numbers, that's the only category more than 42 drivers.
All right, there you go, folks. First break in this edition of the OutLap, episode number 60. When we get back, we will jump into the numbers. As David had mentioned, we'll have a look at what the entries look like for round 4 of the USPKS.
You want the best? You just got to roll with the best. Streeter Superstands. This is Jeff Wessel from StreeterSuperstands.com. You wouldn't put subpar parts on your racing cart, so why put that cherished ride of yours on anything but karting's #1 lifts and stands, Streeter Superstands. Streeter is the original and genuine manufacturer of the second-to-none Bigfoot rolling stands, stackers, uprights, and industry-leading Superlift. We also manufacture and sell the largest and always growing roster of trailer and shop accessories like tire, engine and jug racks, cabinets, spray can trays, bead breakers, and tons more to outfit any size trailer, team, and budget. Streeter Superstands has over 30 continuous years of experience. We're kart racers just like you and know that the Streeter name represents the absolute best in stands, lifts, and accessories for karting enthusiasts worldwide. Durability, affordability, unmatched quality, and customer service, that's what sets us apart from the rest. Check us out now at StreeterSuperstands.com. Roll with the best, StreeterSuperstands.com.
Wins in the sport's biggest races and championships in national and regional series all over the country, they're all on Nitro Kart's growing resume. Nitro Kart continues to make its statement as the best, fastest, and winningest cadet chassis on the American market. In 2021, Nitro Kart won the 3 biggest crowns in America in the Micro Swift division, with Mateo, Rosu in the SCUSA Pro Tour, and both the Super Nationals and the USPKS titles with Keelan Harvick. At the Super Nats alone, 3 of the top 5 drivers on the podium got there on a Nitro Kart. The results are clear. If you want to win in cadet, get a Nitro Kart and join our team. At Nitro Kart, we're all about driver development. Nick Tucker and the Nitro Crew's racing resumes are extensive, and their passion for helping our kids learn is unparalleled. Racing is about consistent learning, and that's what we're all about here at Nitro Kart. Never wanting to quit, we've continued to extend the reach of our driver development program. In addition to expanding into the junior and senior karting categories, we've also launched Nitro Motorsports, which will field 2 cars this season in the Trans Am by Pirelli series, one being piloted by karting champion Brent Cruz. Not only can we develop your young driver, but we can also provide the platform if a move to cars is in your plan. And our second seat is available. If you're serious about your driver's career, contact us today.
For over 20 years, Greg Bell has been building race-winning power for kart racers. One need only look at his team, Leading Edge Motorsports. He's always built engines for his team, and the results have been wins at the biggest races in America, the SCUSA Super Nationals and the Rock Vegas events. The name on this program? Mega Power. This year alone, Bell and Danny Formel teamed up to sweep the Rock Shifter class on the Florida Winter Tour, all on a Mega Power engine. If you want to win shifter kart races, it's time to put Mega Power on your kart. Mega Power specializes in gearbox engines, such as the TMKZ, Rock Shifter, and IME Shifter, but with almost 3 decades of engine building experience, Bell develops winning motors for X30 and Mini Swift and everything in between. The combination of Greg Bell's engine building skills and his chassis tuning knowledge is a potent mixture. Greg's helped catapult many drivers to wins over the years, including Mercedes F1 star George Russell, who won the Supernats 14 in 2011 with Leading Edge Motorsports. Increase your odds of winning at this year's Rock Vegas or Super National events or throughout 2023 by calling Greg Bell today at 209-747-2613 to put Mega Power in your corner. Welcome back to episode 60 of the EKN OutLap as myself, Rob Howden, and David Cole diving into a preview of this coming weekend's United States Pro Kart Series event at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati. Looking at the numbers, season started off with 303, broke that 300 mark at Orlando, 284 at Speed Sport down in Texas, over to Newcastle, of course, always a good turnout at Newcastle, 287. David, right now, just 226, so a significant drop here. Expecting more walk-ups, but again, this is season, right? Moving on, there's been so much racing. Drivers maybe not in the championship, backing out a little bit. Other drivers potentially going back to school as well, right? That's happening right now too. So a significant drop of about 60 drivers so far from Newcastle down to Cincinnati.
Well, I think that's why you're seeing the schedule is trying to get done before August. When we're looking at ahead next year, a lot of the races are going to be completed before we get into the month of August. So okay. I think that's kind of the focus of, school starting. Kids are, the majority of our entries are kids. When you look at it, we got mini, micro, juniors, 2 junior categories, and even in the senior ranks, a lot of high school students in those divisions as well. So there's a lot going on. Certainly in the month of August, you look at some of the school districts around the country. I mean, they started right after Superkarts USA Summer Nationals. This first week of August, it makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't get it either. Being a Northern Michigan guy, we just started school yesterday, and there's even schools that are going to start not even till after Labor Day.
Dude, we don't start till the Wednesday of after Labor Day. Canada. Yeah,
it's just I don't get that, why we have to go, and especially with my wife being a teacher and the schools don't have air conditioning. It's ridiculous. But that's
another topic.
More topic. But a lot going on, and like you said, we've already had a lot of races this year. So the fact of school starting, budgets, there's not in the championship. There's a number of different factors. Again, we were talking 226 entries, so it's still a big event.
Yeah.
But not the magnitude that we did have in Orlando or Texas when the season first started.
And it's interesting, right? Let's look at, Micro Swift at 35. There's literally more Micro Swift drivers than there was that big 303 weekend at Orlando. There was 31 micros there. There's 4 more now. Bigger drops, Mini Swift, which has been over 44. It's been 44, 45, 46 is 31. So they've lost, 12 to 15 drivers in the Mini Swift category. And same goes for the junior X30 class, right? In both the X30 categories, junior, a high water mark of 29 at Orlando, 14. So half the field for juniors. And then for X30 Pro, essentially half the field as well. There was almost 39 at Orlando and only 20 here this weekend. So whether it's the pro guys backing off, because to be honest, KA100 Juniors holding strong at 54, right? It's the third biggest event they've had this year. Speed Sports was the least at 51. High water mark 59 for KA100 Juniors. So there are categories that are still holding strong. But some of them, as we know, kind of things tailing off. Pro Shifter as well. They're down 6 from what we had at Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle was you had the influx of the GFC drivers coming in, so that was 5 drivers right there.
There it is. Yeah.
So that's the majority of that. We'll talk in a couple more drivers that are not there in that category this weekend as well, that have been there all season as well. And then, looking ahead, even we have a busy schedule ahead. There's a lot of regional programs that are going to be competing over the next 6 weeks, or, big events such as Cup Karts North America. So, drivers, again, budget is a factor. Scheduling is a factor, a lot of different things. But yeah, like you said, KA 100 juniors holding strong, and the mini and micros are certainly holding strong as well. A bit of a drop off there in mini, but, overall, it's the senior category. So yeah, maybe kids are, football's coming around too. So maybe some of those kids are in football.
That's it. That's the KA 100 Masters at 19. So they've had actually a pretty good run. 27 in Orlando, 20 at Speed Sports, 19 and 19 back-to-back here at Newcastle and Cincinnati. So good to see the KA 100 Masters categories, of course, always near and dear to my heart. The guys that are out there 30 and up, 40, 50, 60 and up. Shout out to Tom Gerstner running this weekend, 68 years young. So all the guys out there having some fun this weekend. We just kind of went over by the numbers. When we get back after this break, we'll dive right into X30 Pro, KA 100 Senior, and Pro Shifter, the big dogs. We'll look at them first up. Established in 1999, PSL Karting has become a powerhouse within the karting industry for North America and around the world. PSL Karting is your complete source for all Burrell Art products as the North American importer, providing this top quality product through both their expansive dealer network or through the PSLkarting.com online store. Whatever you need is available 24/7 online, including safety gear, parts, components, and full karting packages. All 3 brands, Burrell Art, Ricardo Kart, and Charles Leclerc Karts, are in stock and ready to hit the track. Grab your winning chassis for any category by visiting PSLkarting.com to find your nearest dealer. PSL Karting is always looking for interest in new dealers and teams to help create new business relationships. Drivers looking to take their talents to the next level can join the Burrell Art North America race team, competing at all the major U.S. and Canadian events this season. When you're ready to win, go with PSL Karting. It all started in 1994 when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years, and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, and we run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is, they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis with 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP Easy GP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA. Back here on the EKN Radio Network or on whatever podcast platform you're tuning into, Rob Howden and David Cole, the OutLap number 60 of our program here, 2023 season rolling on. The United States Pro Kart Series heading to the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati for round 4 of their 5-event program. David, let's have a look at the X30 Pro category. 20 pre-entries on the docket. We'll see if we get some more walk-ups. 3 different winners on the season. Ari's Dukmedjian, Joe Turney, and of course, Austin Garrison coming off that big win at Newcastle. Although one of those drivers isn't leading the points. And in fact, none of those drivers are even in the top 5 in points, which I find very interesting. Diego Ramos comes in as the point leader by 31 markers over Brandon Carr. Paulie Massimino is in 3rd, Ryan Norberg in 4th, and Elio Mesa rounding out the top 5. So Dukmedjian, Turney, and Garrison, David, not even in the top 5 in terms of points.
You look at Dukmedjian, he hasn't raced since Orlando, so that's one of the reasons why there. But you have Joe Turney and Austin Garrison, who are now making their 3rd start of the season, both not racing the Orlando weekend. So that's factoring into the championship chase. But certainly victories are going to help them move up in the best 4 out of 5.
Yeah, we're not counting the drop there, right?
We're not counting drops yet. So again, with a lot of points up for grabs, again, we were talking 300 points for victory, not mentioning the heat race points that you gain as well too. So I mean, you're looking at, I forgot what the exact total is, but it's a lot of points to be gathered on a race weekend. So Turney, Garrison, and Harley Keeble also not racing Orlando. All 3 of those drivers are in the field. So both Turney and Garrison have the opportunity to add a second victory to their championship chases. Looking at Turney sitting 7th, you got Keeble in 10th and Garrison back in 12th. So again, you got 50 points for qualifying, 100 points to win a heat race. So that there's a lot of points to be gained over the weekend.
And David, let's just throw this out here, okay? When we're talking about this is a kind of a crucial time for these championship guys. There may only be 20 pre-entries, but as we, anytime we do these shows, we have our spreadsheet of the drivers who have entered, and I kind of highlight guys I want to talk about. I could literally highlight almost this entire group. You know what I mean? Like that's how this is a stout. It's 20, but it's almost like an all-star race, right?
Yeah, it's the same drivers we're seeing every race weekend. SCUSA, United States Pro Kart Series, and you look at the championship, it's the top 20 drivers that are in the championship. Yeah. So
like Hayden Jones, we already mentioned Garrison. Braden Eves is running for MPG Motorsports. Alessandro D'Attulio for International Motorsports. Noah Baker, Cooper Shipman, Nicholas Terlecki, Tyler McIntyre. Henry Wheeler jumping up to X30 this weekend as well.
Yeah, that's the interesting one that I noted was the Henry Wheeler moving from KA to X30 this weekend. He performed very well, Supercarts USA Summer Nationals in K100 Senior. So making the jump up. We've seen him race OKN as well on the season and Stars competition. So he's got that experience. So we'll see where he stacks up against the big names that we have in single speed competition.
And of course, we've got Blake Nash coming over from California for Nash Motorsports as well. This is it's going to be a stacked field. It's only 20, but man, it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out in qualifying and then through the heat races heading to the main events on Sunday. Almost double the entries for KA100 Senior, David. 38 in total. The winners on the season so far: Christian Miles, Elio Mesa, and Cooper Shipman.
Yeah, so 3 different winners. Again, Miles, kind of like Dukmedjian, is not racing any longer in karting, moved into dirt car racing. So he relinquished that championship after the second weekend, after a tough speed sports weekend. Meza and Cooper Shipman, so back-to-back victories for Iron Rock Motorsports, but it's Meza that's the only driver that's in the championship chase right now. Again, a lot of points still up for grabs, but he's sitting fifth. He's among two Texas drivers with Peyton Phillips. They're leading the championship chase after 3 rounds of the United States Pro Kart Series. You got Braden Eves, the 100cc master guy, sitting back 116 points back. Sitting third, however, Aiden Levy, the recent Superkarts USA Pro Tour champion. He's sitting third, but will not be at Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati.
It's off to college, right?
Off to college, so will not be there. So he's got first week of classes. So maybe we'll see him at GoPro, depending on how school's going. But
right.
With that adjusted schedule going Wednesday to Saturday, that takes away 3 days of classes, maybe even 4. So that might be a tight battle for him. And then rounding out the top 5 in the 4th spot, Josh Campbell. So he's among the championship. You got Cooper Shipman though sitting 6th, so he's only 191 points back. So again, still a lot up for grabs in terms of the championship, but another good, strong, consistent weekend by Peyton Phillips will certainly help his cause in trying to gain that first USPKS championship.
Some of the other guys, obviously, Harley Keeble's going to be doing double duty again this weekend. We've seen him doing that in Superkarts USA as well. So watch for Keeble in that PK Sports Sodi kart. Austin Jers will be there. McGabriel at AEM Karting back once again. Leonardo Scorpioni, who we saw star as a SCUSA Winter Series for Zanella Racing, will be there. What else we got? Vinny Maskelis. I saw that on social media. Scored a win at the club race on the Sodi kart this past weekend, Dave.
Yeah, so he's got a weekend under his belt of racing at MCC and a victory. So that could put him into the battle this weekend. We haven't really seen him kind of be there except for Orlando when he had a couple of good performances there, but not too well at Speed Sports or Newcastle. So we'll see if he's able to kind of turn his season around.
Throw a couple names out like Aiden Rudolph back, James Overbeck running with Mike Doty Racing, Brandon Lemke, always an opportunity to win any race he rolls into with Franklin, Finnegan Bailiff with Trinity Carnegie. What about Brandon Atkins coming back out to run, Davis?
Yeah, he's always jumping in here and there. I think he was at Newcastle for USPKS weekend, but racing in his home race or home state, not home racetrack. That would actually be Atkins Raceway. So racing in his home state. So we'll see. He's probably got a lot of laps here at MCC with some of the local and regional races that have been at that facility.
All right, let's wrap up this particular segment. You go to Pro Shifter, 14 pre-entries. Danny Formal, AJ Myers, and Kyle Wick with wins on the season. Myers comes in with the point lead over Marian Kremers. Hunter Pickett in third in points right now. Giorgio Carrera in fourth, and Talon Yockel in the fifth spot. But David, looking at the notes here, I don't see Pickett, I don't see Carrera, and I don't see Danny Formal either.
Yeah, Formal's got car commitments, so he won't be there this weekend. Obviously, that was one of the factors going into this season was the conflicts there with car racing. Pickett, I'm not sure what's going on there, so we don't have anything back from him yet. So we'll see if we can talk with PSL Karting once we get trackside to find out more about that, or if he's going to be a walk-up entry. And Carrera just hasn't been racing the last couple of events, so maybe he's taking a break. He did a lot of the winter racing, so maybe he's moved on to other things as well. So we'll see if that could be possibly it. But yeah, it's an interesting field when you look at it, because it's we don't have any of the GFC drivers, so there's a number of quick guys not going to be there for that. So it's almost like we're going to have a Myers versus Kremers weekend with maybe a little sprinkle of Alan Isambard making an appearance. He shows a lot of speed at Homestead, but this will be his first visit to Cincinnati
on the Sodi kart, on the Sodi kart too.
On the Sodi kart with PK Sports USA, so making that debut. So that's something that I was expecting to see a little bit more, was We saw it with Senna coming over and racing in Utah. I thought we were going to see, I don't know, I'm not sure if we saw one in Newcastle at all, but Sodi shifter karts making its way onto the grid. So good to see that. I'm going to expect to see a bunch of them at Super Nationals, that's for sure.
Agreed.
So
yeah,
it's good to see that. So we'll see if maybe a three-way driver battle up front, but you never know. Gavin Bailiff racing at his home racetrack.
I was going to say
that could be another factor as well. So, and then Jako's been doing really well this year. So he has the opportunity now to compete for probably a podium position. And if he can keep up with Myers, who just came back from testing over in Germany to prepare for the World KZ Championships, we'll see if those two are able to hook up and see where Kremers falls in with all that as well too.
Yeah, young Anthony Martella, just 14 years of age, made his debut with PSL karting at the SCUSA Summer Nationals, and then just this past weekend won the Canadian National Championships up here at Hamilton. Again, so coming off, it wasn't a huge field up here. Shifter's not massive up here in Ontario or in Canada right now, but Martella, of course, coming off that kind of momentum and that confidence, good
experience.
For him. Exactly that, more experience, was able to get the victory too, right? So. David, one other one that you have a note for, I'll let you run with this one here. We got a European, a Brit coming in to run as well.
Yeah, Joe Charlton. Yeah. I looked him up. Coming from London, the UK, racing on an energy kart with U Race, the operation out of Orlando. That's an interesting. I just followed him on Instagram, so trying to learn a little bit more about him. But so we'll get to see him trackside and see what brought him over to Cincinnati. I mean, of all places, from the UK.
This is interesting. Here's the one interesting thing I'll just throw out here is there are a number of drivers that have come down from Ontario for this race. Mm-hmm. David Greco coming down to run with PSL karting. I already mentioned. Anthony Martella, Joe Lowney. The Lowney family has been part of karting in Ontario for probably 40 years, if not more. They run a track in Innisfil, and the Lowney family, like 4 generations of racers, or 3 generations of racers, probably 4 now. I would expect the Lowney's sons racing now as well. So, and then of course, there's Michael Riccio and Tegan Poles as well. So almost half the field rolling down from Ontario. So good to see the Ontario drivers looking for some shifter racing out down there. And you mentioned it's only about 6 hours from Toronto. Maybe 6.5, I think, to get down to Cincinnati. So not even that long of a drive either.
Yeah, what did it take you to get to Mansfield? About that?
Yeah, usually 5.5 from Ohio.
A little hour, a couple more hours after that. So you're there. So
there it is.
It's interesting to see. I think the numbers are growing back up there in Canada in terms of 2-cycle racing. It seemed like there was a lot of numbers there that were in Hamilton. The Hamilton, that extension and all that, it's very similar to what we're seeing at Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati.
Yeah. Shout out to Trevor Wickens and the crew there, right? Did a great job at that place. Yeah,
it looks great on all the photos and videos that we were seeing over the weekend. So that might be another a bucket list racetrack. Maybe me and you will have to bang some side pods there next year.
I'm okay with that because I'm about 25 minutes away from Hamilton. That's where I went during COVID when we were just allowed to get out the door. I went and did a bunch of laps over there and ran a club race. So it was nice to get over. I raced that particular track. That's where I first raced when I raced. I think I raced 6 races back in 1987 when I first went
on the Formula Y.
Well, no.
Oh, that's right. No, you were
87. I was on a Honda G200. I think it was an Invader chassis when I drove on back then. I was still in high school. It was my second last year of high school. So I did some racing and then that was enough. At that point. I think I went and partied instead. All right, folks, another break. When we get back, we'll talk about X30 Junior, KA100 Junior, and KA100 Master. It's a multi-time world champion, and it's a SuperKarts USA Super Nationals winner. It is Sodi Kart. And starting in 2023, the Sodi brand has found a new home here in the U.S. Sodi Racing USA is the new exclusive importer of the Sodi Kart chassis line under the karting distribution banner, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from Mini to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has already begun establishing its dealer network, working with the Karting Collective on the West Coast and recently signing PK Sport to serve as a dealer and the official race team on the East Coast. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis line or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Top-level production with a focus on a single form of motorsport, karting. This is MG Tires. MG Tires USA, underneath the Vantage Karting Group banner, is the official distributor of the MG Tires brand for the United States. MG Tires are the official spec tire in the US Pro Kart Series, Route 66 Sprint Series, Sunshine State Karting Challenge, and countless clubs across the country. No matter your compound preference, MG Tires USA has you covered. Whether it's the medium SH Red or the soft SM Yellow that you find at many karting events in the US, or the super soft green SS and the intermediate white IZ optional compounds, MG Tires USA has your winning set of rubber in stock. Indoor and outdoor rental facilities can now trust MG Tires with their solution to long-lasting and the best performance with 3 different compounds available through the RL line. For more info about MG Tires USA and its extensive list of dealers near you, check out their website at mgtiresusa.com. MG Tires, for the drivers. Cometic Gasket is a leading worldwide supplier of gaskets and engine sealing solutions for karting, automotive performance, power sports, original equipment, and the remanufactured engine industries. Cometic karting gaskets are available as OE replacement top-end kits or as individual gaskets and seals. Just like competitive karters, Cometic can operate on the fly and has the unique capability to customize any gasket to meet specific engine requirements and clearances. All of Cometic's fiber materials are asbestos-free and do not require any additional sealants. Viton oil ring cylinder head seals are used in each 2-cycle kit, and Cometic's 4-cycle engine kits feature only the most advanced multi-layer steel head gaskets. Cometic can tailor to engine builder-specific needs through bulk ordering and packaging flexibility. Cometic gaskets are must-haves for championship-winning teams across multiple disciplines of both professional and amateur motorsports. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989. Welcome back to episode 60 of our EKN OutLap as we preview this coming weekend's USPKS event at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati. Rob Howden alongside David Cole. Diving now into essentially the junior categories in the Mastercast here. It's X30 Junior, only 14 entries. Surprising here. It's the season has been flat dominated by Ernesto Rivera. The Rolls Performance Group driver has won all 3 races so far. David, a 465-point lead. Rivera with a win here this weekend will obviously lock down the championship. He probably doesn't even need to win at this point here. Just a decent finish will secure that championship for him. Vid Montien, 465 back. Stephen Miller, 521 back. Anthony Martella, who has moved to shifter, is in 4th, and then Jackson Wolney 601 back. Unbelievable that Rivera has been so consistent throughout the season and really has dominated the action here in terms of race wins.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal to kind of watch, but I think the field's catching up. I think the first 6 months of the year, he really set the tone, but I think the drivers are starting to kind of catch up to him, and the other teams catch up to him as well. Speeds Concepts Racing's really putting in a lot of work. They got 3 drivers that will be representing them this weekend. We got Sarah Bradley, Turner Brown, and Nathan Dupuis, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Another Ontario guy. Bradley just won the club race there that was there this weekend ahead of Turner Brown. So they got all the data they need to be able to contend there this weekend. So we'll see how, if they're able to kind of end that streak that Rivera's been able to put down.
Other drivers to watch, of course, we know Stephen Miller will be in the fight, no doubt about that. We talked about the fact, Oliver Weldon's been very quick on the season. He's not in the top 5 here, but has been very strong. So I think Weldon will be driver. He'll be battling up front in the middle of the scrap for sure. I think Harvick. Let's talk a little bit about Keelan Harvick, David. He's going to be making his debut in this X30 Junior Pro category with Rawls Performance Group. Had the run and was very good with RPG at the SCUSA Summer Nationals. Was right in there, didn't miss a beat, was racing up front, led some laps. So I think Harvick, although quite young, is still going to be really strong here at USPKS.
Yeah, this will be his 3rd weekend on the X30 power plant, making the jump up from cadet. So, and also doing double duty. We'll get into that more a little bit later. So yeah, he showed well at Newcastle, showed well at the Trackhouse Motorplex for the IME Grand National Championship event as well. So going to a new racetrack. So I'm guessing that's maybe why they're doing the double duty type scenario, to try and get him some more track time and get accustomed to the MCC facility.
Let's move to KA 100 Junior. 54 entries, biggest class on the field. Rivera not only has won 3 of the 3 X30 races, also 2 of the 3 in X30 Junior. Oliver Weldon winning the other one. So Rivera, another massive point lead, 431 points. So literally, I would think it's an odds-on good bet that he rolls out of Cincinnati with both championships in hand. Rivera 431 over Stephen Miller, 445 over Landon Skinner, 494 over 4th place runner Austin Olds, and 506 points ahead of Diego Guillaume. But some notes, though, David. Let's talk a little bit about that. Stephen Miller with a non-droppable DQ.
Yeah, you look at the Weldon victory that was at the last event, and that was due in part to the disqualification of Stephen Miller, who picked up the provisional victory at Newcastle. The contact leading up to the finish line there at the end of the race was the reason for the disqualification. So again, this is a non-droppable disqualification. So that's going to factor into the championship side of things. With Rivera already with a 431 point lead, it's just going to increase even more unless Landon Skinner, Austin Olds step up and really put in probably a sweeping performance on the weekend. So that's going to be a factor into the championship, but on track, obviously, Miller's going to try and bounce back from that mistake that he made. Did well at Superkarts USA Pro Tour Summer Nationals, so we'll see how he does this weekend. So that's going to be an interesting side of things. So, Weldon picked up a victory. It's ironic. I think Weldon got this victory based on obviously a driver infraction, and then lost a victory at the Summer Nationals due to a penalty as well. So a lot of this, that's one thing about the K100 Junior category. There's a lot of contact out there.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah. Other drivers, of course, we'll be watching Jackson Wolney, Peyton Westcott. She's been good throughout the season. Edzo Vidmontien, David always in the fight. We mentioned Keelan Harvick as well, getting double duty for get the track time he's looking for. I'll throw out a driver like Diego Ardiles for Rollison. Chase Busaglia has been on the podium this year in this category down in Orlando. And then a driver I think starting to make some moves here in the junior class, kind of stepping things up a little bit. Isaac Malkit as well, David. I would expect he will probably factor into it as well.
Yeah, he's the king of Newcastle, king of the castle when it comes to racing there. Mini or micro, mini, and now junior, having success in his early junior career. From the state of Ohio, so racing in his home state. So I think he's got a number of laps at the MCC facility. So we'll see how he does. Another notable name, you might know the last name, Pappas. Mateo Pappas going out and is going to be racing there this weekend. I saw that on social media and see Max it on the entry list. So
that's good.
It'll be cool to see Max in the paddock as a karting dad, because he's a very emotional driver. So Lord knows how he's going to be as a karting dad.
Right. Oh my goodness. I look forward to hearing your update on that for sure.
Yeah. Well, I want to go to him on Thursday and just kind of get the feeling for him.
Tell him you've got your eye on him all weekend long. That's so funny.
Don't be that guy, Max.
Don't be the cadet dad. Speed Concepts again. We talked about the fact that Turner Brown is there. Nathan Dupuis as well, running double duty on the weekend. So there's a lot of good drivers. Some of the drivers, of course, we've watched in the mini class who have moved up recently as well, like a Tyler Roberts, right? They're going to keep getting better and better throughout the season. Salvador Della Vecchia. There's a lot of drivers who will continue to get faster and faster. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. I mentioned it earlier when we did the by the numbers. 19 entries total here in the KA 100 Masters class, which I think is great. Mike Rollison, he's got his team. He's, winning championships with Rivera, winning races, with all the big dogs, the Ryan Norbergs, you name it. But this year, jumping behind the wheel. I wrote an article on the website a little about it. We posted about a little over a month ago about Mike Rollison doing some racing, getting back to it, getting a chance to get a feel for, their Cosmic Mercury chassis with the KA 100 Masters engine on it. So he's learning for the team as well and all of his Masters drivers. But 2 wins on the season for Mike. Point lead of 282 points over Nicky Coelho. Laurent Dumardin, the other winner on the season. Mario Barrios, Scott Kopp, Martin Stone, all in the championship battle. Although we won't see a Stone this weekend. Martin Stone not on the docket right now.
Yeah, no Martin Stone on the entry list, so he could be another at-track entry. We'll wait and see. I know he's done that before. Wasn't able to connect with him on social to confirm that. So that, again, the championship, you look at it, I mean, it's Rollison's kind of, as we looked with Rivera in the junior categories, this is kind of his to lose in terms of the championship, because no other driver's been able to really put in a performance like he has over the first 3 rounds. So, but some notable names making their first start on the season. Let's go to the former Pro Tour winner, Jamie Siraki, making his United States Pro Kart Series debut in the K100 Masters class. Going to race alongside Scott Kopp, along with TJ Nevels, making his debut. So the Franklin Motorsports going all in, joining Nicky Coelho as well in the K100 Masters. So you got Franklin versus Rollison right now, because Rollison's got 5 alone with Grace, and then Rob Mayer coming back for his first time on the year, and then Pistol Pete Vetter coming off win at the SCUSA Pro Tour as well. So a little bit of a team battle there.
Yeah, and speaking of Pro Tour wins, Summer Nationals, Clay Settles out of Kentucky, who was able to get the win there on the top cart at Newcastle. Big win for Clay. He's coming to run as well. Miguel Mir, the driver out of Texas, who we see running for Orsilon Racing, always a front runner in this KA 100 Masters category. And let's throw out the driver coming over from California as well. Brett Harrelson, always quick for Nash Motorsports. He'll be there as well. So there's a lot of guys up front that could be in this. Scott Carapoletti. As I said, I gave a shout out to Tom Gerstner, 68 years young, running here in this category. I love it. And hey, let's throw in Luis Quiondas as well, the Master Shifter champion from the Pro Tour this year, coming out to race.
Yeah, a lot of drivers with success in this field. And, Mardan's been the only one to stop Rollison. We'll see if he's able to repeat or if somebody else is going to step up and add their name to the first season winners list in the K100 Masters class.
That's it, folks. Let's wrap this up with one more break. When we get back, we'll preview Mini Swift and Micro Swift and cap things off for this preview of the upcoming Ohio Grand Prix.
Are you ready to go from karts to cars? Since 1975, the Skip Barber Racing School has taken great drivers and made them champions. Today, we're proud to welcome the next generation of winners. Make the transition from karts to cars with the Skip Barber Formula Race Series. You'll compete at the most iconic tracks in America. Race weekends include your very own equalized Formula 4 race car, a professional crew, expert instruction, video and data analysis, hospitality, and more. This is the place to fulfill your dream of becoming a champion. Sign up today by calling 866-932-1949 or visit us at skipbarber.com.
Made in the USA. That's exactly what you get from Precision Karting Technologies. Based in Detroit, Michigan, PKT brings over 35 years of manufacturing experience to the sport of karting. Their passion for the sport began focusing around the Kid Kart platform and has expanded every year with hundreds of products designed to put you on the podium. Precision Karting Technologies is known around North America for their successful line of axles, available in all age groups. PKT manufactures a number of engine products for Comer, IAME, Rock, Rotax, and the popular Briggs & Stratton 206. A wide variety of chassis components for the many brands in the sport are available through PKT, including hubs, pedal risers, skid plates, and other hardware for your kart. Axle straightening, chassis adjustments, engine service, and specific CNC machining projects are available through their Motor City headquarters. To learn more about the many products and services available from Precision Karting Technologies, head to pktaxles.com. CRG is one of the most iconic brands in karting, and we're primed and ready for the 2022 season with new material and a never-ending focus on winning. CRG Nordam is the North American distributor for all CRG products. Based outside of Houston, Texas, CRG Nordam supports CRG dealers across the continent, reaching every corner of North America. The CRG KT5 is our new chassis for tag and shifter racing, and it's been designed specifically for the US market. The KT5 features 30mm construction with a 32mm front loop to increase front grip. CRG's new Ben 13 brake system is cutting-edge technology with a master cylinder that allows for pressure regulation within the system. Drivers can customize brake pressure to their own requirements to improve feel and to avoid brake lockup. The kart is finished with new KG 507, 508 bodywork that has refined aerodynamics and reduced weight. For cadet drivers, the 2022 CRG Black Mirror is already logging positive results to start the new season. This chassis will be making big waves in 2022. Longtime CRG drivers will be happy to know that the CRG Road Rebel, the standard in quality and performance, is still available. With four-cycle racing enjoying consistent growth in North America, CRG's FS4 chassis is the ideal choice for racers in Briggs & Stratton competition. From pure racing to karting entertainment, many tracks, both indoor and outdoor, have made the switch to the CRG Centurion rental kart line. 5 different models for both gas-powered or electric engines can fit any track's needs for a new rental kart fleet. CRG Nordam has a full inventory of rental karts available for new and existing facilities. For more information on the CRG product line, head to www.kartcrg.com, and to inquire about a North American dealer near you, please email us at info@kartcrg-nordam.com. Welcome back to episode 60 of our EKN OutLap, our preview podcast, all part of our EKN Trackside coverage that David Cole will be managing from the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati here this weekend. The USPKS and their penultimate event of the season, race number 4 of the 5, one drop. So we will have an opportunity to crown some champions potentially this weekend. I'm sure David will have the spreadsheet out. Mini Swift, 31 entries in total, and Lucas Palacio coming in with a pretty good advantage right now, 160 points. But with that drop, still lots to go between he and Michael McGoy. Both those drivers have won on the season, 2 victories for Palacio, 1 for McGoy. A lot of momentum right now, though, for Travis Pettit, although he's 275 points back. The drop will come into play. Coming off a really good weekend, David, at the Summer Nats for Pettit, the two Trinity Karting Group drivers, Travis Pettit and Lucas Palacio. Pettit with a big win this weekend. Let's say he comes in and kind of sweeps the weekend. That blows things wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly will do that. It will. It'll shake things up in the championship, unless Palacio is right there in second, and then you're not losing as many points. So that's going to be a big deal. And McGoy, did the right tire call in the event at Newcastle when we went from rain to dry conditions, going with the dry tires, and certainly proved that was the right decision and drove away for his first USPKS victory. He's coming off a victory last weekend at the club race there at MCC. So he's got the laps in at the racetrack, but so do Pettit and Palacio, right there for the Trinity Karting Group home racetrack. They've got a lot of laps there as well too. So this should be a good one. You got a number of other drivers that are going to be in the mix as well. Ashton Woon's been right there all season long, so we'll see if he's going to be there. Also, the return of Max Cristia. He was not at the Newcastle event due to some scheduling, because he was right in the championship chase going to the second event. Now he's sitting there in 10th, having missed Newcastle round. So that'll be his drop. So we'll see how he's able to recover over these 2 round weekends to see if he's able to climb back up and try to get himself closer into the championship chase. Probably not going to be able to battle for the title, sit with Palacio sitting there with 2 victories, but you never know if he's able to pull off a victory here or at GoPro or at Trackhouse. You don't know.
Let me throw out another couple of drivers I would expect to see in the top 10. Cameron Marcia for RPM, Jackson Porter maybe into the top 10. Both of the Marco Romero and Marco Samet could be there as well. Rocco Simoni, another one of the young drivers out of Florida with a shot at it. And then, of course, Royce Vega as well. So you've got some Motorsport drivers. You got a couple of Benek drivers. Some, obviously the Trinity Karting Group drivers. There's all those drivers I just mentioned easily with an opportunity to work their way into the top 10.
Yeah, Parolin, Kart Republic, a few Nitro karts in there as well. Yeah. You look at, did you say Cameron Marcia? I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yep. So, those are kind of the 3 chassis that have been winning in the cadet categories all season long. But also the Benek as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, with Romero and Vega. So
2 very
a lot of names that could be in the mix for the victory. But again, it's keeping Palacio. I think that's everybody's key, is keeping Palacio off the top of the podium this weekend.
For Lucas, with the point lead he has right now, go into those heat races, bang out those heat race points, right? Just accumulate the heat race points you can. When you're winning heat races, you're keeping points away from other drivers. So look for him to be trying to get lots of wins on Saturday as well to try to make sure he's in a position to potentially lock a championship out. One driver as well, as we wrap things up, David, to go into Micro Swift, who could lock things out. 35 pre-entries in Micro Swift. Parker Ives has won all 3 races, although the gap between he and Maxwell Macha is only 168 points. Macha has been there, matching him essentially, keeping the point total close. Macha, as we know, coming off a SuperKarts USA Pro Tour Championship, so that's really big for him. Those 2 drivers getting ready to line up. Ives, maybe with a perfect weekend, could grab the championship, but essentially it's come down to him and Macha as Aston Wyatt back by 469, Alex Chandler by 633, and Colton Schniegenberg by 635. This really has kind of worked its way into a 2-driver battle with 2 race weekends to go.
Yeah, Eves had the perfect weekend in Orlando and then an almost perfect weekend in Newcastle, missing out on top qualifier points there. So missed 10 points there for that. So, but yeah, like you said, Macha's been right there, kind of 1 position or 2 positions behind Eves throughout the year. So Macha, we keep saying it, he's gotten better and better, as well as everybody else in the Micro Swift category. So we'll see if they're able to put the battle to Ives and make it an interesting championship, because as you said, if he's able to come off and pull off a 4th victory, that's a championship in his pocket for the end of the year.
Well, here's the thing. Juan Diego Garcia was super good in the winter events for Orslon Racing on that Tony kart. He's coming off a win at the SCUSA Pro Tour Summer National, so look for him to have momentum. But I think obviously the colors you're going to see up front quite a bit this weekend, David, will be Sodi kart, right? They come in and really, we've seen them with Harley Keeble. We've seen them with a number of drivers that have come in and run the senior categories and some of the junior as well. But man, they've really taken the cadet world by storm as well. You mentioned some of the the powerhouse chassis we've seen over the last couple of years in the Parolin and the Benek and the Nitro, right? And now we've seen guys in the Kart Republic. But Sodi Kart's going to have Josh Bergman, who's been a winner this year on the national level, Zane Burgess, Pasha Ali, of course, all running again with Maxwell Macha. So that's SLA Racing. It's PK Sports. There's going to be Sodi Karts up front. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that was the thing at Newcastle. There's a lot more drivers that were up front that were battling. Also, you throw in where did his name go? Sorry, I lost it. Liam Nachawati. Yeah. So he won this past weekend.
Byron Borman, those 2 Parolin drivers too. Yeah, but did Nachawati won this past weekend?
Nachawati won this past weekend at MCC, so he's got that in his belt. Who was the other one? I think it was Grayson Walcott. That was a podium finisher as well at the SCUSA weekend with Parolin USA. So he's another one as well. So yeah, it's Parolin, Sodi kart, and then Nitro kart in the at least in the micro division. That'll be battling all weekend long.
All right, folks, that wraps things up here for the Preview or OutLap podcast. Again, make sure to follow EKN for all the coverage of the 2023 United States Pro Kart Series Ohio Grand Prix. David, are we going to stream it live on ekartingnews.com/live for those that can't watch the Kart Chaser broadcast?
/live, also on the EKN Radio Network. So if you have the app or if you go to ekartingnews.com/radio, even on there as well, too. So you get it on the live page, on the radio page, on the app. On the Mixler app as well too. So since we started with United States Pro Kart Series back in 2013.
So lots of great coverage. Dave will have the race reports throughout the weekend, as you know. You'll have the Patrick Insider when he rolls in there on Thursday and Friday. Social media we leverage big time, folks. If you follow our coverage, I know when we're at these national weekends, David does a great job in terms of getting interviews with drivers. We always try to get that winner victory shot when they come across the scale, the celebration kind of videos. Those are a ton of fun to watch. Always the top 10s, again, as you know, on Facebook and Twitter. So if you're busy, you want to find out what's going on, just scroll through our feeds. You'll be able to see what the immediate top 10s are. David does a fantastic job with that. Or you can always, if you want, just kind of search the hashtag, right? Hashtag EKN at USPKS, hashtag Ohio GP, and hashtag MCCC Kartplex, Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati Kartplex. A lot of hashtags being used. David, you ready to get back to the racetrack? Because let me grab my thing here, because I was looking. This is the start of a good run for you. You got a bunch of stuff going on here. We got, I'm looking at the calendar. I know you've been off a bit since the Pro Tour race, but you've got Rock Island the weekend after that, weekend off, Rotax US Trophy Final, weekend off, CKNA Grand Nationals, USPKS. You had a pretty cushy little run through the middle of the summer. It's time to go back to work.
Yeah, it's 5 events and 7 weekends. I forgot about USPKS being right after
five events and 7 weekends. Welcome to my world, buddy.
I keep forgetting about that. Yeah. So
hey, listen,
I try to get as much done at home before that. So I
call.
got a couple more things I need to do. So that'll be able to be done during the weekdays.
Let's just throw this out there, though. Although you will be working on these weekends, you're also driving Rock Island. You're racing at Rock Island, and you're racing at the Cup Karts Grand Nationals. So when you're bringing the helmet, it's never a bad weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my helmet this weekend too, just in case. I got to at least do some laps around MCC.
You do. Like if you drive a K100, David, don't spin it out. Okay, on the outlap.
I'll probably just stick to a rental cart. We'll try that. Maybe at Briggs. We'll see.
All right, good stuff. Well, there again, folks, wrapping things up for this edition of the EKN OutLap. David will be trackside starting on Thursday and Friday. Look for a lot of coverage to come on ekartingnews.com. Otherwise, for those of you joining us, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Big shout out to Billy Musgrave and everybody from Factory Karts for being the presenting sponsor of this broadcast, this EKN OutLap show. Again, always exciting to see what Factory Karts has done. If you didn't see the article that we wrote on the website, a little profile on Factory Karts, check it out on ekartingnews.com. There's been a lot of sharing. You can go to Factory Karts website and their social media. They've been sharing it out as well. Really kind of cool look into the insight from Billy Musgrave, kind of the motivation of what they're doing with Factory Karts. And again, great to see an American-made chassis up front and winning races in North American shifter kart competition. Again, thanks for tuning in, folks. Episode 60 is done of the EKN OutLap. On behalf of David Cole, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.